Hello, Mike. Hello. The cat made this drifting. Thank you. Neutrinos are drifting. Excellent. Howdy, TJ Zamboni Schwartz. Hello, Pratap. Yeah, to go blank, I lost Jupiter momentarily. So, yeah. A few minutes to go. How many minutes? Like 15 or something. And we should lose Europa to the shadow of Jupiter. I forget. Is there a proper name for the planet disappearing? Planet? What am I talking about? Is there a proper name for a moon disappearing into the shadow of its planet? Is it an occultation? Ooh. Oh, can you at? I didn't know you could at people. Eclipsed by Jupiter. All right. Thank you, Pratap and Mike. Eclipsed. So Jupiter is eclipsing Europa. No observing for you, TJ. Transparency is opaque. Oof. Oof. I'm not going to complain about my atmospheric conditions. I mean, I'm looking barely above a house here, so I think the seeing is actually not as bad as it looks here. It's just that Jupiter's quite low for me. And yeah, just before I went live, it was actually, Jupiter was obscured by an aerial of the house on the opposite side of the street from me. So the dots clear. Can you see Europa? And what's that to the right? Io. Can we see the moon's okay? Hands down your favourite planet to observe it. Yeah. I love Saturn, I really do, but Jupiter's just got those thank you, Pratap. Jupiter's got those sort of, there's so much more going on. I mean, not to say you can't get a storm on Saturn, of course. They happen, don't they? But I mean, it's just like there's so much more interesting things happening so much more often on Jupiter. So I quite agree. So yeah, I don't know. Is my computer going to explode if I try and image Jupiter right now? I've not done live streaming at the same time as actually doing a recording. I'll give it a go. Ooh. Oh, I think I've got bad seeing. Well, good thing we don't particularly need the seeing for. We just need enough to see Europa. I can go in closer. Let's go in a bit closer. Ooh. Maybe that was too much. Okay, well, probably too wobbly. Don't explode the computer. Okay, Pratap, are the impacts from the 90s still visible with Schumacher-Levy? I don't believe so. I think the impact left those dark scarring marks for, if I remember, it was like a number of Jupiter days, like a number of rotations, and then it kind of blended in. I think I'm just going to image Jupiter after I finish the live stream. I think, yeah, I don't think my computer's up to the task. This this camera, I love this camera. This is we're looking with the 150 Max Sutov tonight, and the ZWO ASI 178 monochrome, and it's just such a cool camera. It's like 6 megapixels, so that's why I can go out quite wide. But obviously, like, that makes absolutely ridiculous files. So unless I've already got a reason to do that, I don't tend to. You should be capturing a whole load of empty space if you did this, but it's handy for the moon. So you get such a big area of the moon. But like the data rates you get like at least 200 megabytes a second from this, when you're particularly recording in 16-bit, and yeah, it's just an awesome camera. I just love it. And I should mention we're in the infrared at the moment. I thought particularly because we're so low, I'd go infrared just to try and cut through. I've got I should change out. I've got a luminance filter which in my filter wheel. I'm not using it because it hasn't actually. I've not had a good. I've never used I've tried it a few times. I've had LRGB images of the planets, but if I use the luminance channel, it just wasn't happening for some reason. But the RGB looked fine, so I should replace the luminance with I've got a longer pass IR filter. I've got one that's further into the infrared, so maybe that'd be more useful for this kind of like murky thing. So Mike, you have come back with some research. An eclipse is the result of the total or partial masking of a celestial body by another along the observer's line of sight. Ah, so right. It's still in our line of sight, but it's just in the shadow. TJ, even before the first time I ever looked through a telescope, I was fascinated by Jupiter. Oh yeah, 2001. I saw that when I was so young, and I've watched it so many times. It's just, it still stands up, doesn't it? I mean, it's like so many practical effects and the impact of it. Like, I was just watching this thing about Interstellar, and apparently Chris Nolan was just sort of a massive fan of 2001, and there were a few like callbacks to it. Mike, occultation occurs when a celestial body is eclipsed by the moon or another solar system body. I had to look it up. It was bothering me. Yeah, oh, I get that. Oh, so it lasted. TJ's saying it lasted a few weeks. Ah, the impact markings. That's cool. I was wondering why it wasn't tracking very well. I remembered I left it on lunar tracking rate. That was my mistake. That should hold it a bit better now. There we go. I might just blow out the planet. Just so we can... Oh, I don't know if it's really helping. No. Yeah, oh, that'll do. That'll do. I love events like this because it's just like the tension. When I was trying to get the ISS images, it seemed like there was loads of time before they were going to happen, and then before you knew it, like oh no, I've got a few minutes to find the path, or it's like an actual event. Right. So if Sky Sapphire is right, I think it's going to disappear. Oh right, we might even see it kind of like fading away, but it's like 12:22. All right, it's going to enter the shadow at 12:19. That's when it's going to get like the penumbral eclipse is going to start. So we've got 2 minutes. Yeah, Mike, it's yeah, we're with an IR pass here. Oh man, the tension, I can feel the tension. Hello, Chris. Right. Should be about 10 seconds until we start losing Europa. Or not. What did I do there? Okay, so the shadow is apparently just touching the moon. TJ can't wait for Western North America to stop burning. Yeah, that would be preferable not to have things on fire and smoke. Is that like how much sort of like time do you lose for having an unobservable atmosphere? Smoke's getting you too, Mike. Blimey. Okay, so the penumbra is on Europa. I can't really see any difference yet. Okay, so the penumbra is approaching half. I think I'm beginning to see a difference now between Europa and Io. Okay, Umbra coming across. Blimey, is it happening? Okay, Umbra's about one third of the way across by my reckoning. Oh, sorry. Okay, we're about halfway through the Umbra, going across Europa. Two-thirds of the way across. Any time now, Europa. Any time. Is it go? Is that it going? Well, Sky Safari is telling me like it's 80% covered now by total shadow. Come on. It's going. It's going. How is it? It's still hanging on. Blimey. And there it goes. It's still kind of flickering, kind of in and out of view. How's it doing that? So, TJ, you've had a whole month of it being a bust. Blimey. Dan, question from Dan. How do I keep the planets and moon in the image? Presumably that magnification area racing across the sky. Yes, I've got a tracking mount. So the mount is adjusting for the for the movement of the sky. Sorry for losing Jupiter for a minute there. Let's get it back. Okay. Well, it has gone. I'm just going to crank the gain up really high and see if we can... I don't know if we can get a hint of it there. Go on. That was cool. Thank you. Yeah, it was TJ. Hey, Enrique. Nice to have you here. I don't think it's there now. I don't think I've got the. I could try a longer exposure. $4 is that okay? That was too much. No, there's no trace of it, is there? Well, that was it. Seems like the atmosphere is behaving itself relatively well. So I might take some images after this. Dan Harris, just like clockwork. Yeah, definitely. Result from Chris. Yep. Goodbye, Moon. That was fun. Oh, nice to have you here, Mike. Well, I think that's all the excitement we have for now. I was looking forward to the Great Red Spot rotating interview, but I don't know if I'm going to stay up late enough because it is a school night. Oh, it should be there. Let's have a quick look at that, if we can. I turned the camera up for the try and make the moons clearer, so I'll just put that back. No, that's not really good enough to see the GRS, is it? It's there. It will come out in the pictures, I think. Well, thank you, Mike. Looking forward to seeing my images. Yeah, I hope they come out well. Thanks, Rob, though you missed everything. I don't know if... I think you joined after it happened. Dan, cheers, Rob. Glad to have found your Twitter. Well, thank you, Dan. Right. I missed... Not, oh, I see. Yes. I'll trim it and leave it up for a review. So I'll share that link tomorrow and you can watch it. I was like not convinced it was going to go, but of course it did. Like I should never doubt Sky Safari. Thank you, Pratap. Yes, I'm off to do some imaging. So thanks all for joining me, and I'll see you next time. All right, take it easy.